player attack. I'm actually working on setting up the player attack here, and I'm working on the design, and this is more of a game that is related to our culture in my country. That's why I'm playing around with it. So far, let's just remove the anti-alias here because I'm trying to go and set up a better approach on how the attack will be. I was able to make a run animation, down animation, running. I'm thinking about working on. Let's just mute the audio here. I'm thinking about making the cow here to work, and there's that attack animation. Still working on improving the slash, perhaps. I think I'm trying to look for some inspiration for that slash, but it's working. And I was thinking perhaps I can try to move the animation sprite in a little bit forward stance of some sort, as if it's you're doing a long reach attack. It's one of the strikes that we have in Filipino martial arts. I actually practice Filipino martial arts, and that's one of the things that inspired me to work on this project. Right now, I'm still going to need to improve on some of the approach there. And there's that mythical creature. I can kill it, but it's not yet showing up, or it's not showing any details of me being able to animate the monster. So I'll work on that some other time perhaps. But for now, I just want to work on that sprite attack sprite here. So let's just try to work on this for now. As if it's your. Just going to try to work on the elbow perhaps first. We'll need to remove those anti-aliasing. If you're not familiar with anti-aliasing, those are just those parts. And I'm using GIMP here. It's an open source software. So you'll see I've set up. If you're not familiar with GIMP, this is the one that I used for most of my projects when it comes to artwork. It's for free. That's what I love about it, and I'm just adjusting some concepts. I don't have that much background with Photoshop and other tools. I mostly use open source like GIMP here. I just try to usually adjust and go and try to implement and transition the concepts that you would most probably be seeing in Photoshop, and then I just try to compare it with this software. Let's try to remove those. I actually exported the first one that I worked on. I wanted to make the character as if he's a little bit facing forward. Then I just rotated the image here a bit, and perhaps we can try to add some angulation for the chest area here. I'm really not going to be focused too much on details for now. Let's see. But let's try to make it at least look a little bit decent. Let's go get that. Let's remove some of those anti-aliasing. Think that doesn't look good, so let's try to adjust that. In GIMP, you can also set up your grid here, and I have a 144 by 127, but usually what I'll do is just set it up to 4 or something. Then go to image, view, show grid, and you'll be able to find some way for you to check out the size of your character. And I added some shadow down here because the first design that I made, sorry, excuse me for that, was just purely facing forward like this, right? He's facing forward, so I was adjusting it, and I wanted to make him look as if he's facing forward now towards the right side here, once he's doing the strike already. And if I remember correctly, this is a technique that you would commonly see. I am not yet that sure if it's working. It's the proper way of doing it. But I've been watching some videos related to you having some sort of a shadow of the weapon or attack that you're doing. Let's just see. Perhaps we can try to clean up some of the shadows here. And the elbow. Let's first clean up some of the hair strands to remove some of the anti-aliasing here. I just recently learned about the term anti-aliasing, and that's actually that shadowy part of your art. It just really takes a lot of time. But if you're enjoying what you're doing, that's the beauty of game dev. You're doing a lot of things and you never get bored. I get to practice a lot of my interest when I'm working on game dev. Let's try to remove that a bit. Perhaps we can just add some sort of a shadow there. I think much that's. We can just decide on improving that perhaps. I really haven't. I'm really not that much of an artist, but I do enjoy learning some new tricks in pixel art, and I'm learning a lot from our group, a home team, game dev. I'm hoping that I can pitch a new game here. I'm working on this new artwork here. I just recently worked on that yesterday, so I'm thinking of pitching it to our team. This one, I'm actually working on this as a challenge for myself for this year. I wanted to feel the feeling of being an indie game dev. At least being able to publish one game, right? hmm I think that's for the arm. I'm not go. I'll just go back to this. But for now, I just want to at least see it. Uh, Reduce the anti-aliasing here. Mm, that looks good. Let's might have some suggestions here if let's have an R or perhaps the same color for the body. It's actually my vacation, so I have some more time to work on some of the games that we're trying to work on. But I'm trying to do my best to at least reduce some of my work in my part-time job as an NSTP instructor. I actually teach community service and disaster preparedness, and currently I wanted to early this morning I did a lot of cleaning in the room, and I was working on creating a grading template. So at least when I get back to work, I have some reduced workload already. Let's try to remove some parts of this. I'm trying to simulate one of the attacks that we do in Filipino martial arts. That's why let's just add some shadows here. It's like you're in a forward stance here. Trying to work on improving the stance of the artwork that we have here. I'm not sure. Okay, I think that's together. I have a lot of dogs in my house. I'm actually using post processing for this. Let's go back. Let's go. Actually want to turn that facing forward too. So our attack 5 here, we have our attack 6. Attack 5, let's have a copy of that. And for the attack 6, to move that up there. Then let's go okay, so I think we need to, I'm just going to crop this part. I think the first one that we'll need to work on are the legs. So let's go crop the legs first. Going to need to work on the legs first. And crop that. I think that's attack 6 will be on top. Can't seem to decide here. So let's see. So it will have we don't want this anymore. Okay, so I'm going to delete that part for the attack 5. Then let's try to increase still want to think about what colors I'll be using for the slash, but for the meantime, I'll go stick with some of the very common colors. White, black. I'm still going to get some feedback for this. Perhaps with some playtesters from my friends and my colleagues. But for the meantime, let's try to work on that slash here. Not sure if the black color suits better.